What if I told you there are 12 unmistakable signs that can indicate you're actually more broke than you might think? Welcome to Wealth Bridge, your go-to channel for mastering money, building financial freedom, and escaping the stress of money troubles. If you're ready to level up your financial life, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like if you find it helpful. Without further ado, let's break down the 12 key indicators that show you're more broke than you think. Number 1. You panic at unexpected expenses. So, your car starts making a strange noise, or your dog decides that eating your sock was a good idea. Life just throws these $500 problems at you like it's no big deal, and you go, oh no, how am I possibly gonna pay for this? Here's the thing. People who are truly financially stable don't freak out over these kind of surprises. If a $200 car repair or a $150 doctor's visit sends you into a tailspin of worry, it's not because life is being unfair to you specifically. It's just because you haven't really accepted the fact that life is unpredictable and your bank account wasn't ready for it. Being completely caught off guard by expenses that pretty much everyone has to deal with at some point just means you've been kind of pretending that money problems only happen to other people. Number 2. You're secretly ashamed of your account balance. So, now you avoid looking at your bank balance like it's a spoiler for a movie you really don't want to see. And deep down, you already know what you're gonna find when you finally do look, and it's probably not good. Well, the feeling of shame you have is not just about the numbers in your account, it's about the gap between where you are financially and where you thought you'd be at this point in your life. But the truth is, ignoring your bank balance isn't gonna magically solve the elephant in the room. In fact, staying in denial just keeps you stuck in the same old cycle, stressing out and feeling like you're never gonna get ahead. The only way to break free from that is to just rip off the band-aid, face the numbers, and start actually doing something about it. Because that feeling of shame loses its power the minute you decide to take action. Number 3. You're keeping up with the lifestyle that isn't yours. So now you scroll through your feed and see all those rooftop brunches, weekend getaways, and everyone unboxing the newest tech, and suddenly your own life feels smaller. Somehow. So you might swipe your card a little more often, telling yourself, hey, I work hard, I deserve this too. But here's the really tough truth. You're not actually paying for the brunch or the getaway. You're paying to be seen at the table. See, the fear of missing out is worse than you might imagine because it doesn't feel like you're wasting money. It feels like you're investing in your social standing, your sense of who you are. But let's be real, Instagram isn't real life. Instagram Reels don't reveal actual bank statements. The people you're trying so hard to keep up with might be up to their eyeballs in debt themselves. They're just better at hiding it. Meanwhile, you're sacrificing your own financial peace of mind for a lifestyle you actually can't afford. Ask yourself this one simple question. Would I still want this thing if nobody else knew I had it? If the answer is no, then you're just buying it for attention. Number 4. You borrow money before payday. Well, it's just a small loan, I'll pay it back Friday. Except Friday rolls around and suddenly you're short again, so you end up borrowing even more. Or maybe you're juggling payday loans, cash advances, or constantly hitting up friends on Venmo just to get by until your next paycheck. Here's the tough truth. If you're regularly having to borrow money just to make it to your next payday, you're basically surviving on life support. There's a big difference between a temporary overlap, like maybe a one-time planned thing, and using borrowing as a constant crutch because your budget is fundamentally broken. When borrowing becomes a regular habit, you're not fixing the problem that's making you short in the first place. You're just kicking it down the road to next month and adding interest on top of it. And the longer that goes on, the deeper the rabbit hole goes. Number 5. You decline social invitations. Okay, so you find yourself saying no to dinners, movie nights, even just grabbing coffee, and it's not because you don't actually want to go. It's because the thought of the bill hanging over your head just stresses you out too much. You've probably even perfected an excuse. Oh man, things are so crazy busy right now, but definitely next time. But here's something people don't often talk about. Money troubles don't just put a strain on your wallet. They can really mess with your friendships too. Friends might start to stop inviting you because they just assume you're unreliable. You end up feeling left out, maybe even a little resentful or embarrassed. And what's truly messed up is that the feeling of being isolated can actually make you spend more money when you do finally go out, just to try to prove you're still part of the group. It's a total lose-lose situation. By the way, if you're enjoying watching, hit the like and subscribe button so we can continue to make more videos like this. Number 6. Your debt is a game of whack-a-mole. Alright, so you finally managed to pay off one of your credit cards, only to start charging things on it again right away. Or maybe you just transfer the balance to a different card thinking this time you'll be better. But let's be real, you're just kind of shuffling debt around. Think of it as the financial version of running on a treadmill. Yes, you're working super hard, but when the month ends, you're still in the exact same spot you started. The really frustrating part is that it feels like you're doing something because you're paying things off, but in reality, you're just playing musical chairs with your debt, and when the music finally stops, you're the one left standing with a bunch of maxed out cards and the same sinking feeling of being broke again. Number 7. You have no idea where your money goes. So now your paycheck lands in your account and then poof, it just disappears. You convince yourself you're not really a big spender, but somehow you're still counting down the days until your next payday. So where the heck does all the money go? Probably Uber Eats? Monthly subscriptions maybe? Wait a minute, you're still paying for a gym membership you haven't showed up to since January? Well, the truth is, if you're not keeping track of where your money is going, you still have broke mentality, and it's calling the shots for you. That's why you need to get back to the drawing board. There are lots of financial tracking apps you can download instead of spending too much time tracking your spending manually. Number 8. You're living in discount denial. It's kind of funny the way we convince ourselves we're being smart with our money by spending it. Maybe you're a pro at finding promo codes and you give yourself a little pat on the back for snagging that 70% off deal. But here's the tough truth you might not want to hear. If you wouldn't have bought it in the first place at the regular price, then you didn't actually save any money to begin with. Matter of fact, you just spent money. You see, discounts have a way of making you feel like you're winning, like you're being financially savvy, when really, you're just losing a little less money than we could have. And if you're constantly saving your way into buying a bunch of stuff you don't actually need, your bank account is just gonna drain a little bit slower than it would have otherwise. Number 9. Your savings account is a ghost town. Perhaps you say, yeah, I'll really start saving next month. But why does next month just never seem to actually arrive? There's always something that pops up. A birthday party, maybe the car needs some work, concert tickets you just had to get, and saving money just keeps getting pushed further down the line. Here's the thing. If your savings account doesn't have enough money to cover at least a month's worth of your essential living expenses, then you might just be one emergency away from going into full-blown crisis mode. And if you have practically nothing in your emergency fund, you might be truly broke and sitting on a ticking time bomb. Number 10. Retail therapy is your go-to coping mechanism. Now, here's a huge difference between actually treating yourself every once in a while and using spending as a way to put a temporary band-aid on your feelings. If you find yourself reaching for your wallet every single time you're feeling sad, bored, or anxious, you're not really fixing the underlying problem. You're just kind of burning it under a pile of receipts. And the really sad part is that the guilt you often feel afterward can actually make you want to spend again to try and feel better. It's this never-ending cycle, and the only one really benefiting from it is Amazon. Number 11. You're banking on a future big break. I'll buy some stocks when I get a promotion. I'll start saving when my side hustle takes off. Sound familiar? Okay, what happens if that promotion doesn't come through? What if that raise is way smaller than you are hoping for? What if the day you're waiting for just keeps getting pushed further and further away? Well, here's the tough pill to swallow. The future isn't some magical fix that's just gonna appear out of nowhere. It's just more time that you could be using to actually make things better. The reality is, the only thing that's gonna fix your financial future is starting out right now, one step at a time. Number 12. You think being broke is normal. Everyone's struggling right now. Money's tight for all my friends too. At least I'm not as bad as so-and-so. This is just broke people's groupthink, a collective lie we tell ourselves to feel better about bad habits. Here's the hard truth. Just because your whole friend group is having a financial crisis doesn't mean doom and gloom is coming for you too. Misery might love company, but company won't cover your rent when things take a nosedive. The minute you start accepting being broke as just how life is, you've already lost. Such complacency is the enemy of every positive change you could be making in your life, and it's a place you don't want to be in. I want to believe you're more capable right now than you've given yourself credit for, and you absolutely deserve better than the constant low-grade stress of financial instability. The only question left is simple. What action will you take today to start turning your situation around for good? Not tomorrow, not next payday, today. Because the clock is ticking whether you're ready or not. By the way, we've carefully selected the videos showing on your screen right now to supercharge your wealth building journey, so be sure to watch as well.